everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tefe. Today our book review is going to be on Queenie by Candice Cathy Williams. Queenie is Candice's debut novel, and this book was published in year 2019. It's one of the most anticipated books of 2019 because everyone just felt like it was something that everyone needed, and it was a fresh narrative because it really touched a lot of important topics in the society at large. It's also one of the most talked about books because all over my social media, on Instagram and Twitter, everyone talks about Queenie, how important it is, how interesting they found the narrative to be. So I decided to have my own share of how they feel because I couldn't be left out in discussions. So I picked up Queenie and I read it. So what's the book about? Queenie is set in South London, and it's about the eponymous character Queenie Jenkins. Queenie Jenkins has a lot of things on her plate, if you ask me, and she's a really likable character. I personally got to the end of the book because of her, because I really like her character. The character was quite inviting, if you ask me. So Queenie is Jamaican and she's also British. She's based in London. The book opens with Queenie trying to reach out to her boyfriend. She keeps on texting him and trying to reach out to him, but she's really giving this cold shoulder. Almost everyone knows that this relationship is over. Even Queenie knows that, but she's still hanging on to the thread, hoping that something or some sort of miracle or they'll come back together. This pause in her relationship really held her in a place that was really kind of bad because she started having consensual sex with a lot of people, strangers. And this sex was mostly unprotected, and it was also in a way that it was highly racialized because people were coming to her not because people were coming to her not because they really like her, but because of what they had to gain with being with a black woman. So there was a lot of things going on around Queenie. At work, she felt like she did not necessarily fit into the entire space because she wants to talk about topics that really affect her person, but she's kept in this box because most media houses feel like, okay, this is too much for our readers and they just want to downplay stuff a little bit. But Queenie was not really having it because she really wants to talk about stuff. But then also with her friends, what's really likable about Queenie was that she had friends that could support her. She put these friends that she had met in different times in her life, and she just put them on this group chat. They don't really talk about anything because it's just Queenie dumping her load on them and telling them what she was going through in her relationship at work and all that nice stuff. And also Queenie, who is Jamaican as well, her family comes to play in this book as well, especially when she was having this breakdown. Because many people, mostly black families, African families as well, they don't really believe in talking about mental health or understanding that some things you can actually talk about it with a therapist. So when Queenie had to work on herself, or when she had to visit the therapist, this was met with disdain from her grandparents. But Queenie, at last, she finds her redemption and she makes peace with herself, which is nice. Did I mention that I love the character that is Queenie? Yes, I do. And I love this book cover so much. That was one of the reasons why, when everyone was talking about it back last year, I was like, this is a really nice cover. I loved it so much. I wanted to keep my hair like it was the cover, but I said, there's no need for all that. So the question now is, do I like this book or is it for me? It's actually for me because I love the character that's Queenie, but I feel like the narrative. I did mention that this book was written in first person narrative. I'm sorry about that. This was written in first person narrative and it has a lot of themes that I'll get to. But do I like this book? No, I do not like this book. Why don't I like this book? I'll tell you. I don't like this book because Candice did not put enough faith in her readers. She was just in a way that she just wanted us to. I'm trying to put this nicely. She totally disrespected the rule of show never tell. Candice kept on. If there's even a joke or something, she'll be like, she had this consciousness and she was desperate for us to get it by all means, removing all sort of faith from us, the readers. There were times in the book whereby they were just, it was as if they were as if she was trying to shove the topics down my throat, honestly. Because I always appreciate when I'm reading a book and it just flows and I'm getting the message. But in this case, I'm getting the message, but it's like Candice is trying to say, look at this, I'm talking about race here, look at this, look at this. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. She was just telling us, not showing us. Okay, she would show us. Then in the next paragraph, she just immediately tell us, this is what I mean here. Even if it's like a joke, she would still say, explain the joke in the next paragraph. And I'm like, what is going on here? I really got to the end of the book because I wanted to follow Queenie's journey. But if I was going to judge it by the writing technique, I would have not read the book to the end, because what's the point? I feel like I know that there's an urgency to address a lot of topic, and I'm not asking authors to be subtle about anything. No, that's what I'm asking. I'm just saying, give faith to your characters. I know that a lot of people would read something and not get it or just downplay it, I guess, but at least give us benefit of doubt that we can understand. We can get the message. You don't have to tell us, you don't have to spell it out all the time. It seemed forced to me. There were some scenes in the book that seemed forced or staged. They were not just feeling real at all. I wasn't feeling at all, especially when Queenie was with her ex-boyfriend's family, and I think it's the grandfather or the father made this racist joke. Yes, I know that people make racist joke a lot, but it felt staged, it felt forced, like, okay, look, these people do, I don't really know how to explain this, because that's why I was really skeptical about making this video. But I just had to say that I didn't like this narrative at all, the way it was, this writing at all, the way it was told. I just and once upon time my face was like, really? Because I felt like it was not just flowing at all. Even the time for the Black Lives Matter movement, it was just not flowing. It felt staged, it felt stiff, it did not flow, it did not really get to me who I wanted to. I feel like you can tell a story and the readers would learn without you spelling it out, without you telling us that, okay, this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you about gentrification, I'm trying to tell you about racism here. Look at it, look at me, racism. I did not feel it. I like to enjoy books myself. I like to follow the narrative. I like to analyze. I like to give my own judgment. But if the author is doing that for me, no, it's a no for me. The writing does not undermine the fact that Queenie touched a lot of very important topics. Number one being racism. How urgent it is for everyone to have all hands on deck fighting against racism. Queenie did a lot. The book did a lot in touching that topic. Then also mental health, the importance of mental health. It was really, because Queenie had a lot of things from her past, from her family, from her relationship, from work, and she was really having these panic attacks and she needed therapy. And although the grandparents disapproved, saying that, oh, we are Jamaicans, we're black people, a lot of people think that I'm from Nigeria, and I don't think anyone would want to sit down and talk to a therapist. But I think it's important, if you have to talk to someone about your pain, about your mental health issues, it's important. But most people downplay it and they will mock you, like, okay, why are you whining? Move on, okay? So Queenie actually felt this kind of pain as well. I feel like Queenie's story is highly relatable, because a lot of people are experiencing this, talking about how they fit in, how they don't fit in an area. So it's very relatable, honestly. The stories, the topics that we touched on this is something of urgency. I remember that I read an article about Candice, and she said that she wanted books that she could relate to, that she would search for books that she could relate to. She didn't really find any, so she had to write one, which is nice, really nice. There's an urgency for the themes in this book, honestly. Yeah, that's my verdict. Queenie, if you like this video, please. And one more thing before I go, I feel like Queenie should be adapted into a movie. What do you think? I feel that if Queenie is a movie, it will be better interpreted, and I think it's something that will go a long way in having a lot of nods from people around the world. I feel like that a movie would interpret the story perfectly. I feel so. What do you think? That's just my thoughts though. Yeah. If there's a movie about Queenie, if there's a movie, if the book's adapted, count me in. I'll definitely see the movie. Yeah. So do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to like my video. If you don't like it, leave a comment why you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, please leave a comment. I love to interact with you guys. I love engaging with people. That's it for Queenie review.